So I would like to review through the concepts what we have covered from the syllabus, and let us proceed further because we left with few of the concepts in the uh, this unit, that is few algorithms such as line drawing, DDA, Bressenham's, so that are really needed for the lab. So let us start. So many people are joining the session. Let us join the. Meanwhile, we'll just display through the syllabus. Today, we'll go with few of the theoretical concepts such as raster scan, random scan, and also few of the line functions. So basic line functions. In the previous session, what we have done is we have gone with the OpenGL functions, and I had explained you the basic program, how to write a simple OpenGL program, that is a program to draw a line using 2 points, right? 2 vertices. We have tried to draw a program. So here is a syllabus that you could see. So this is a theory we have seen in the offline class. What is computer graphics? Basics of computer graphics. The applications of computer graphics we have seen. Applications of computer graphics we have seen, right? So we have discussed what is a cathode ray tube, right? So video display devices. Under video display devices, we have CRT, cathode ray tube. That is a functionality of CRT we have seen. Till here, we have tried to cover this in offline class. Applications, video display devices. Maybe not in brief. Overall, as it is a theory, I just brief up and I've just explained from overall outer outline or the overview of these topics. Next, what we did is in the online class, we started with OpenGL. So architecture of OpenGL, what is OpenGL, how these functions such as GLUT or GL libraries are being utilized, that is we have seen that introduction to OpenGL. So this topic was left random scan and raster scan. Today I'll just brief up just for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll go with the random scan and raster scan. And immediately we'll go for these functions, that is what is OpenGL line functions, point attributes, line attributes, and cur attributes. So these topics we'll try to cover so that we left with the major theoretical, that is theorems on DDA and circle generation algorithms. So this would complete our unit at the earliest so that we can start lab using Bressenham's line and this DDA algorithm. So how to implement DDA algorithm, right? Coming to this concept, OpenGL line function, we have seen a simple program how to draw a line using OpenGL. Clear? So hope all of you have joined the session. So let us continue. So we have random scan and raster scan. So these are all the two methods which represents the architecture for displaying the objects. So random scan, it represents the vector system architecture, that is line drawing and stroke drawing in random order. So how it is being drawn, let us see. And raster scan, it is only in terms of a horizontal scan line. So what is scan line? You have a program to write a scan line. So pixel to pixel identification of a particular line. So that is called raster scan. So random scan in random order. So everything is being displayed and the highlight will be done to the only pixels which are to be displayed on the screen. Okay, so we have a diagrammatic representation for a random scan. So here is a diagrammatic representation, right? What happens in the random scan? So in the case of raster scan, what happens is you could see a stroke of lines are being drawn all over the screen and pixels are being identified. You can see the horizontal lines, right? The electron beam is swept across the screen, one row at a time from top to bottom. This you could see horizontally, number of lines are being drawn. As it moves across, the beam intensity is turned on and off to create a pattern of illuminated spots. So wherever these spots have to be identified, so that will be refreshed. Yes. Yeah, there was a connection problem. So let us proceed further. Am I audible, all of you? Okay, fine. So let us see further. So as I said, this is a theory. I don't want to stretch more on random scan and raster scan. So just diagrammatically, you could see what is the major differences in random scan and raster scan. So coming to the random scan, see here, a line which is being drawn here is directly being drawn without identifying the whole screen. So in the case of random scan, when operated as a random scan display unit, cathode ray 2 has electron beam directed only to those parts. This is important, where a picture has to be displayed. So what is the picture? Actually, I have to draw this picture. Electronic beam of light will be stretched or highlighted only on those part or those pixels where exactly this line has to be drawn. There is no other concept. Okay, so a pen plotter is similarly. So I have taught what is pen plotter model in the offline mode. So the reason why I have told you to analyze the pen plotter model, in fact it is not the part of the syllabus. Just how do it draws the program, or how do you write a program? It is only to identify the positions of the coordinates and simply move and draw, right? Move to function, line to function. So we have seen two functions in pen plotter model. That is, it will move, see, it will simply move here and it go on drawing the line to function. So move to functions and line to functions are being used in the case of random scan as if same as if like pen plotter. So pen plotter operates in a similar way. So it is a concept of random scan, and hence it is a hard copy device. So this is the diagram that you have to write, because this is an examination question that is being asked many times. So regarding differentiate between random scan and raster scan, or else explain random scan with the help of a diagram. So this is a random scan that you could write, right? Pictures are generated as line drawing, tracing out the component lines. Okay, that is one after the another. So the same concept has been explained over here in the case of a random scan. What happens, right? So move to function, line to function, this I had explained, I hope I remember in the offline class, in the second or third session. So how I have given a cube like structure to draw, to use line functions and move functions to complete this pen plotter model, right? So this is about the random scan. So coming to the raster. So raster consists of display processor. These are all the theory, right? What exactly it consists of? A refresh buffer. This is too important because you're using a buffer mode single or double in your program. What is this refresh buffer? Refresh buffer stores the display primitives. Okay, refresh buffer stores the display primitives, that is lines, characters, and solid shaded or pattern areas. So rather than display the list of the program, it will store all the display primitives. For example, in my case, to a draw line, the display primitives are the 2 points, right? Or 2 coordinates along the various axes and its positions, right? So what is raster scan? You could see the diagrammatically, right? So I'll just display what is raster. So this is random. In the case of raster scan, what is being happening? We have a system buffer. Okay. So electron beam is kept across the screen, one row at a time from top to bottom, right? As it moves across each row, the beam intensity is turned on off to create pattern of illuminated spots. So it is same as if like scanning process. So this scanning process is called refreshing. Okay, this scanning process is called refreshing. Each complete scanning of a screen is normally called a frame. So hence you could see the coordinates. In fact, this is a coordinate. So wherever the coordinate has to be identified, those will be highlighted as a spots. Spots of a light or a spots of pixels that has to be highlighted. Right? So we have mathematical concept that is called aspect ratio. How do you identify the aspect ratio? The number of pixels divided by the number of scan lines that can be displayed to the system. So aspect ratio is a ratio which defines the number of pixel columns, okay, divided by the number of scan lines. What is the scan line here? This is a scan line, a single line. So you could count the number of scan lines we have. Got it? For example, what is scan line? For your information, this is one scan line. This is second scan line. This is third. My whole computer is going to be scan desktop. If imagine this is a desktop, this is a desktop. So all together, I start from top left. So I'll identify the scan lines. In these scan lines, I need to identify which pixels has to be identified. For example, I have to draw a cube-like structure like this. All of you, cube-like structure. So if you could imagine, this cube consists of part of the scan lines. Okay, this part, this part, this part. We have left, even this is one of the program that we have to write in OpenGL, that is to draw a cube-like structure, that is a two-dimensional program. So identify the scan lines. So even this is a quite interesting. So individual scan lines, left edge, right edge has to be identified. Got it? If this is a cube-like structure, a simple, if the scan line moves or this is a one scan line that is touching this two-dimensional primitive, you have to identify this coordinate, this coordinate, this coordinate, this. Again, if I tell you one scan line moves like this, you have to identify this edge, that is this coordinates. Though the scan line starts from beginning here, I don't have to highlight the scan line. I have to highlight only this part, the inner part of this cube. So in that way I can explain you. So what is random scan and raster scan? Let us move further. Hopefully I have forwarded you the notes in Google Classroom to find to make your way easy, so that will not spend more time on this, right? You just go through what is the raster scan and random scan. Right, completed this topic, random scan and raster scan display, differentiate. You have to write the differences also. Then coming to the graphics software, I have shown you the types of graphics software. What is OpenGL, right? We have come here coordinate frames in OpenGL. OpenGL point functions also has been last class done. So now we'll go with the line functions, point attributes, line attributes. Okay. So that tomorrow maybe we'll start with the DDA algorithm. What is DDA in the tomorrow session, right? So here you could find the difference between random scan and raster scan, all of you. So here is a random scan, raster scan, differentiate theory. Again, you have to go through and explain. And these diagrams are important. Remember, for a randomly draws a line. Raster scan, you have a scan line individually displayed on the screen and will identify the spots where exactly you have to do it. Okay. Next, coming to the concept of OpenGL, we have gone with the OpenGL. And few extra things are there in the notes. I repeat. So you just skip those things, because previously we had something like what are the output and input devices. So maybe we are not, we don't have this time for the syllabus, just reduced it. So hopefully you can go with that, right? Now coming to the concept of OpenGL, this part is not there for your internal, for your externals input devices. This time they have eliminated. Previously it was a big unit, right? So coordinate representation is there. What is coordinate representation? Okay. So that is, I'll explain this once we start with the programming. What is modeling concept, word coordinates, weaving coordinates, right? So here we have seen what is graphics functions. So introduction to the OpenGL, we have seen what is GL represents. So we have two major library, OpenGL utility kit that is being prefixed with GLU and GLUT toolkit. So this I have explained in the PPT. So what is graphics software, early histories, right? So what is GLU, what is GLUT, all those things. So coming to the concept here, explain this also. Right, the same thing, the continuation of it with respect to the same program, and what exactly the modifications you can do it to the existing program, right? So GL underscore lines, this has been explained last class with the GL points. Okay. Okay. The what are the header files? Basic header files that you are using is GL. So we use glut.h in our program. So it is almost the one and same. The thing is that, see, the above lines can be replaced by using glut header file, which ensures both GL and GL. Instead of using both the header files, GL and GLU.h, we have merged. That is, above lines can be replaced by using glut header files, which ensures that both are included correctly. So what is the program that we use, right? We'll write hash include GL glut.h. That is GL in Windows. Okay. So this is a thing that we are going to use. Maybe in theory, while writing in the exam, you can write GL, GL.h, GL, GLU.h that are being replaced by glut.h. Then initialization, this is mandatory of a program. Glut initialization using two arguments in the main function always at the beginning, immediately after void main, creating a window. So a main window has to be created. How the window is being created, this also I explained. This is my desktop and this is my desktop. It starts from 0, 0. It starts from 0, 0 here, this corner. So corner from position, if I explain this from the x-axis, is it may be it is a 100, and again from x-axis, y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is y-axis. The graph looks like this, all of you. Reverse. So this position is 100, 100. Here I had to draw one window from this position, top, bottom. So this is my window. So here I have to write a name of a window, create window, an example of OpenGL program. This is being displayed over here, right? Next, what we do is next, creating the window. Then specification of the display window. What are the specifications that are being displayed by using glut display function? That is what has to be drawn. Here we'll call line segment. The same program what we did. So this is your user defined function. Line segment is a user defined function. It is your words, line segment. That has to be written separately upside. What is that line segment? Basically, I will write as a display. Okay. So this is a built-in and this is a display function. So we have glut main loop. So why do we need a glut main loop? As I explained. So if you don't use a glut main loop, again, the primitive will not be observed, right? Always where it is glut main loop is being used, always at the last part of our main program. It displays the initial graphics and puts the program into the infinite loop. that checks for input from the devices, such as any inputs from mouse or keyboard are available or not from user point of view. That will identify, that will verify this. What is this function? Glut main loop, that is in the main function, right? So what I explained, the same thing. See, from here the window starts. An example of OpenGL. What is window size? 300, 400, right? So this has to be displayed. Within this window, we are going to write the primitive, right? And there are few other functions such as glut initialize display window by using single. This is called a buffering, right? In order to store the primitives. So usually the type of buffer that we use is a double buffering. So single buffering mode is basically used for two-dimensional, but sometimes even the three-dimensional will work within glut single buffering mode. Okay, this is mandatory in order to set, right, the refresh buffer used to display what is to be displayed, and the type of color mode that you are using, that is RGB. So this is also single line as it is, yeah, that you have to write, right? Clear color, always before you, when you start, you have to set the background color. You set the background color by using GL clear color 111 RGB. So first it passes 4 parameters GL clear color, whereas GL color 3F uses 3 parameters. Remember, GL color 3F is a primitive that is being used to set the color that you are going to use to draw, whereas GL clear color is to use to set the background color of your window that you have created. So that uses 4 parameters. So one is red, green, blue, and this is called transparency or opaqueness. It is called alpha. The parameter is called as alpha. It is a transparency and opaqueness. Either you could use 0.0, right? So, right. So to get the white background color, we have to set RGB as 1, and you get the background black color, or we have to set RGB is equal to 0. So this is being explained last class. So what is GL color buffer bit? So this is also mandatory in order to clear, right, the memory regarding the buffer bit. GL color buffer is an, it is a symbolic constant, all of you. So that is from GL. See, the availability of this is from GL. So what it does, it is being used to refresh buffer, right? So few color buff values are stored in this color buffer. So it is a color buffer bit. This is also mandatory along with GL clear color. GL clear color along with us, these are like twin structures that are going to use it. So I'll just directly display the program as we did in the class. Why I'm repeating, because the today I could see more strength in the class, 63 members. Previously it was a very less strength. Just repeating because since we start with the lab next week, you should not find it difficult with the functions. And I had interacted with a few of the members of your class in my staff room recently. So they could see that they find it difficult with the program of OpenGL. So it is not difficult. In fact, the procedure of the program is quite easy. If you understand one program, you could be able to analyze the many programs as such. And remember, what is this GL matrix mode, GL ortho 2D? As of now, you will not understand anything regarding this. These are all the primitives that are being used to identify the projection modes, right? That is called weaving parameters. For example, I told you how does the object looks like, right? From your point of view, you are drawing one you are going to write a program for one of the object that is being viewed in one of the way, right? The different people have a different views, right? So we do write the weaving parameters always mandatory within the OpenGL program using GL matrix mode and GLO ortho 2D, right? So this represents the orthographic projection. We have xmin, xmax, ymin, ymax for a 2D, and this is mandatory as it is, no modifications here. GL underscore projection, it sets the projection matrix. You'll come to know what is projection matrix. As of now, you just remember it is a projection matrix that displays the weaving parameters. Okay. And what is GL begin, GL end? Always user defined function, that is line segment function, will consist of GL begin, GL end, GL from GL library, and the primitives to be drawn are within this. Any vertex that is being written with will be within GL begin and GL end. Clear? Flush function, always at the end of the line segment or a display function, you have to write a GL flush, right? So which are stored in the computer system, and it will clear the memory, right? So it is a routine which are stored by the computer system in buffer in different location, right? So it is being used to clear, that is flush. Flush means a clear. Okay, coming here, this was the program we did last class. So I executed this program and shown you GL glet.h. So initialize functions always consist of orthographic projections and projection GL matrix projections as it is, and we will set the background color of the window in GL clear color in init function. This is as it is in all the OpenGL programs. No difference. Okay, set display window or color to white. Then coming to the display function, this is a user defined function. As I said, so this is a user defined function, line segment. So this is to use the clear display window. Fine. Clear the display window. Always mandatory at the beginning of your display function. In fact, I will use, instead of display here, line segment, instead display user defined function called display. So he has used line segment. Fine. So clear the buffer bit, always mandatory. Then it comes to the what type of color do you use before you start. This is mandatory before GL begin. That is, you are using the mix of RGB. This is a mix of red, green, blue. We are writing a floating values. Then we start with GL begin, GL end, within which we'll have to write the function GL underscore lines. So one more primitive is GL underscore points. We will see that. So to draw a GL underscore lines, always GL underscore lines takes two vertex. So as this is a built-in, you have to pass two vertex, GL vertex 2i, GL vertex 2i, specifying the line segment geometry along x-axis, y-axis. Clear? So let me go fast. So, and always before you end the display function, you have to use GL flush. It processes all OpenGL routines quickly as possible, right? In order to process the all open, if you don't use GL flush, you will not be able to get the output in all the cases. This is mandatory. And only three functions is consist of init function, display function, and main function. In the case of main function, initializing the glut, immediately the first line. Second line always as it is, glut singular, glut double. So you use a double buffer or a single buffer. It is regarding a refresh buffer. When do we use a single buffer and double buffer? Say when you have more three-dimensional primitives, so you'll exchange, for example, rotation of a cube. The first as the rotation of a cube happens, the faces of the primitives of the front face will be, when it moves, it goes to the back side. So you have to exchange the buffer. So in the single buffer, it is not possible. Using double buffer, you can exchange the primitives into one buffer to the another buffer. In that case, we'll use double buffer. Init window position, window size, right? So this is to display, calling init function, display function, and this is let main loop, the display everything and wait for any sort of interrupt. Let main loop, it will wait for any sort of interrupt that is from the keyboard or a mouse. So this is a sort of program I explained. So maybe I thought of continuing a lot. Again, I repeated the same. So I have posted few of the programs in your lab sessions. So I expect you to execute those programs so that you find a quite grip on that, right? Set pixels, get pixel. Explain what set pixel and get pixel does. So see GL matrix mode GL. So one more primitive we are going to study is load the identity matrix. Even this is being needed to write a program loading the identity matrix and projection matrix. Okay, so we'll see what is identity matrix. Before that, so here few of the, at least for the sake of a class, we'll see GL begin GL end always consists of a GL vertex, depends upon the type what you have, if it, whether it is a point, either it is a line, whether it is a polygon, right? So one simple example I just want to tell, GL underscore points, not it is point, it is points. So GL underscore points represents individual points 500, 100, 75, 150. So it identifies in this program 3 points, and you can specify the size of the point also. I could see in VMware, I could not analyze the point, increase the point size to show you. That's why I have not executed that program. That was some problem with the VMware. In fact, it was not able to recognize the increase the point size, right? So somewhere it is some troubleshooting of VMware Pro. The answer was from few of the student was from VM Pro. It is possible. Anyway, let us see that. So GL underscore GL points identify the 3 points, right? So vertex 3F along the x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. GL line functions. So all of you see here, GL underscore lines. GL line underscore lines identifies first 2 points, P1 and P2. So if you give P3 here at the second line, so it will connect P1 to P3. So P1, P2, P3 to P4. See what happens here, P5. P5 is not identified as a line. Why? Because it doesn't have any pair to find a line. This is quite important, right? The primitives GL underscore lines are being written in such a way that it identifies 2 points. If you don't get a pair of points, it is not able to draw it. See P1, P2, GL underscore lines, P1, P2, sorry, GL underscore lines, P3, P4. GL underscore lines for P5, it doesn't find any sort of partner. So what happens? You'll not able to draw it. Similar in the case of line strip. So what is line strip? Line strip, it is a consecutive order to draw a strip, all of you, right? So maybe all of you just hear the explanation. Meanwhile, you can give the attendance. So I just explain this. Meanwhile, you can just give the attendance, all of you. See GL underscore line underscore strip. You are going to draw a strip in between P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. See, it starts from P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, and finally ends with the P5. So this is a line program that you have to draw. So I insist you to write this program using, just modify the same program of line function, convert it to line strip, and execute it. Okay, line strip. And similarly, we have a line loop. What is line loop? It will form simply a loop in between this P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. This is a lab exercise that we are going to do it in the lab starting from P1. It should be in capital letter, and always it should be in the same conventions. They are sensitive. So this has to be written within the display function. That is a line segment. Okay. See, this was the program. I have posted it. See, always main function consists of same my init or init function, anything. It is as if like you can use my init or init functions, as it doesn't matter. So if you're using my init, you use init functions, initialize functions. Initialize function consists of always clear color, and it is not mandatory here, all of you. You can represent the point size. You can call projection matrix. You can use identify matrix. You use all through it. Always these functions are mandatory within initial init functions and these functions, right? So point size is to increase the point size. So this is mandatory. Remember, this is very much mandatory within the init functions. Then coming to the display function. So display function has been called here in the program shown line segment, right? So this hopefully many people have executed it in OpenGL. So replace these GL points with the functions today I said, GL points, and give certain coordinates. What you will replace with GL points with GL line loop, okay? GL points with the GL underscore lines, okay? All of you just replace this GL, replace with GL underscore line strip, and try to identify the different types of thing. And one more thing, point size also you have to work it out, or else for project you find it difficult. So I could find that point size was not working in the OpenGL that we have installed. It should hopefully it should work, or else when you increase the point size, if it doesn't work for a project, you'll have a lot of problem. Clear? And few programs have posted it. Now I suggest replace these in the display function. You keep the skeleton as it is, simply replace this GL points, and you replace these functions with the functions that I have shown you: line loop, line strip, GL underscore lines, and identify the differences. And if you have point size, see point attributes has a point size. You can vary the size of a point. That is what this is very important. See, I need to plot GL points. What is this primitive consist of, all of you? This function is being written in the main function. GL begin, GL end within this. So here, if I want to identify individual vertex with a different color and different size, so GL begin, GL points. Okay, maybe I'm using only red color. First vertex at the coordinate 500, 100. Okay, with the one default size. Then I'll vary the point size to point size 2.0. Then I'll use different color to plot this vertex. Again, I will use this point size and different color to plot this. So this is like a exercise for you to identify it. So I need feedback on this, maybe in the group. If you are able to execute this program, that is, you plot, very simple. Your question is today's assignment could be, so you have to plot 1 pixel here, 1 pixel here, 1 pixel here, somewhere else with different size and